Hello, Lynn Watts here with Wyatt the Wonder Dog Books. And today I want to talk about self care for school counselors. And really, you could probably apply this to any type of helping profession, especially in the counseling arena. Before I start, though, I want to talk about three products that I have that are connected to that. And the reason they're connected is that part of self care is organizing your work so that you're not stressed out about it. And one way to do that is to use some of my lesson plan books so that you don't have to take the time, the energy, the effort to put together meaningful, already aligned ASCA plans for virtually your entire year. So I would recommend three books. One of them is Stories to Learn By. And this is lesson plans for all the Wyatt picture books, which you can certainly use throughout the entire year using the lesson plans in conjunction with it. And it's got lots of activities, games, coloring sheets, all kinds of things you can use with the younger kids especially. The other one is the School Counselor's Book of Lesson Plans, Volume 2, which is an expanded, newly updated series of lesson plans for, again, the entire year. There's actually a calendar in the book that you can use to put together with the plans, and it goes through plans for all different grade levels in elementary school. And again, it has lots of activities for each grade level and aligns it with ASCA standards. And then the third one is the small group guide, which is particularly good for grades 3 through 5, which are probably your best grades to do a small group. And it has icebreaker activities, a journal that you can use with students, and again, some activities that you could do as well. Covers a lot of different topics. Just a few examples: compassion and connection, empathy, setting an intention, talks about feelings, talks about self-care, self-talk, and compassion. So a really good book in terms of small groups. I do have a school counselor bundle where you can buy those three books together and get a better value on that than buying each of them individually. So that would include all three of the books. All right, so let's talk about self-care. And I'm really going to break it down into 5 different categories. And instead of telling you what to do, which I think you can find that all over the internet, I'm going to talk to you about questions to ask yourself. So you might want to have a pen and paper and just jot these questions down, and then perhaps now and then even later in the year, continually kind of quizzing yourself in terms of whether or not you're meeting these self-care needs. So the first self-care, and so often as counselors we neglect this, the first thing to do is to take care of your body. Because let's face it, if you're not healthy, if you're not taking care of your body, then you're not able to serve others, and particularly the students in your school. So 3 questions to ask yourself. Am I getting enough rest? You need to prioritize sleep, and if that's a problem, then do what's necessary to take care of that. Am I fueling my body with healthy foods? All right, again, important aspect of staying healthy. And finally, and this again, I know, just from the demands of the job, many times we neglect this. How can I add more movement to my day? So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, be a gym rat and be there every day, but how can I add more movement? And there are a lot of creative ways to do that. All right. So those are 3 questions to ask yourself about taking care of your body. Next one is take care of your environment. All right. And here's 3 questions to ask yourself there to reduce stress. Does my workspace support my well-being? All right. So, is it free of clutter? Is it organized? That sort of thing. Next question. What changes would help me feel calmer and more organized? And I think those are, 2 key things. You want to be organized. And if you're organized, I think that's going to help you feel calmer and less stressed. Third question to ask yourself, are there environmental stressors that I can eliminate? All right. Of course, we can't be in control of everything about our environment, but are there some particular things that bother me all the time that just, nag on my nerves or get in the way? What can I do about that? Is there a way I can improve that? All right. Number 3, self-care for counselors. Ask yourself, oh, let me tell you the category first. Take care of your relationships. Oh, that's important, right? Here we are sharing with other people how to connect and be empathetic and, further our relationships. What are you doing about your own relationships? Very important. 3 things. Who fills my cup emotionally? All right. Make sure that you're not just giving, but you're also receiving that kind of emotional support that you need. Number 2, am I making time for meaningful connections? That is something that I think is really important. And we need to, intentionally create that kind of time for meaningful connections and relationships. And number 3, do I have colleagues I can lean on for support? And again, if any of these are, the answer is, I need help here. No, I don't have that. Then I think the next question is, so what is it I need to do? What's my plan for improving that? Number 4, taking care of your self-development. All right. So again, many times, we're so involved in our work that we don't take time to keep feeding ourselves, our own need to keep learning and expanding our horizons and improve in all of our different areas of self-development. So 3 questions to ask yourself. What skills would I like to strengthen? And I think it's good to have, perhaps a priority, maybe for the year. I particularly want to work on getting better at this. Number 2, what excites me professionally now? And again, let's face it, we can get in a rut where we're just doing the same thing over and over. We know what we're doing, so it's comfortable to do it. But what's exciting? What would be a new area or a new way of doing things that I could get excited about? And then number 3, when was the last time I learned something new? So maybe if you're a brand new counselor, everything is new. And you don't need to worry about not having anything new to learn. But if you've been doing the same thing, the same job for so long that you're not, bringing in new resources or new information, it can get kind of old and we can get very stagnant. So when was the last time I learned something new? All right. And number 5, last area, and this is take care of your spirit. I think this is so important that we don't neglect this. Number 1, this is a hard question. What gives my life meaning? All right. What is my overall purpose in life? Sometimes we get so lost in the details, we don't get that big picture. And that's important for driving us every day in what we do. What gives my life meaning? Number 2, what activities leave me feeling refreshed and inspired? I think inspired is really key there. What inspires me? And number 3, last one, how can I create more moments of gratitude and reflection? So there you go. There's 3 questions about 5 different areas that I want you to at least pay attention to, and periodically just ask yourself those questions. You can go back and watch this again if you need to write them down, but you might want to post them somewhere so that periodically, maybe once a month, you ask yourself some of these questions and just reflect on where you need to maybe pull back in certain areas. Maybe you're getting plenty there, but there's other areas where you really need to take better care of yourself. So remember, of course, that self-care is not selfish. I know we say this to other people. Take care of yourself as well. It's really a professional responsibility because, as they often say, you can't give from an empty cup. So if you're not filling yourself up in some way, then it's going to be hard for you to continue and not get burned out in such a strong helping profession. All right. So as always, thanks for all you do for children, and thanks for listening.